All right, Shalom. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahat, Racha, Kodash. I would like to give double honors to my elders and apostles at Great Millstone that do well. Peace and salutations to the Lord's elect, the hopeful elect in the one-thirds, and Lord's will. This will be edifying to the sincere sheep of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahat, Racha, Kodash. All right, and as the title reads, Esau has only given his brother pain. Okay, and I just want to say Tawadi Albashim Al Shai, Baharaka Kodash, for giving me the inspiration to do this lesson. And hey, Shalom Akim, Yahalbashim Al Shai, Bashim Kodash Brakathum. And pretty much what I want to do through the spirit is correlate, okay, the judgment, pain, and inhumane nature and torture tactics that we're all familiar that so-called Negroes, even Latinos and Native Americans have suffered at the hands of who you know as the colonizers, okay, the Spaniards, the conquistadors, all right, and also during what you know as slavery, all right. That same torture and pain that they received is the same torture and pain that the Jews received under the hands of King Antiochus under the rulership of the Greeks. So, you see the correlation, all right, of the same spirit that Esau comes in, all right, when it comes to Jacob. All right, Jacob being the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and Esau being who you know as the Europeans, the Pilgrims, and the Caucasians. All right, the same spirit that they had uh, um, you know, in the time of the Greeks is what you also witness in the time of the colonial period. Okay, so let me share my screen. All right, and justice and judgment is coming. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna read first the book of Obadiah. All right, the 10th chapter, or excuse me, the 10th verse, and I just want to jump around in the book of Maccabees. Okay, because we know about like castration that was done here in the times of the slavery in the Americas, but also in the scriptures it speaks about how Esau tortured the Israelites, the male bowels, okay, and the male bowels being, your member, all right, and this is what Esau is known for in the time of slavery, but it's also found in the scriptures, okay, so this same spirit Esau has always had, he's always just given his brother Jacob, all right, pain, okay, and then as the ledger reads, Edom will be humbled, okay, and why will Edom be humbled? Because Esau is the most proud. Okay, the nation of Edom is one of the proudest nations that is on earth right now. Okay, they're proud in wickedness. Okay, they're proud in their unmerciful nature, and this is the spirit that he embodies, being that necessary evil. But necessary evil will be overcome by necessary righteousness from necessary judgment. This is Obadiah 1:10. For thy violence, okay, torture, pain, whipping, hanging, beating, mutilation, right? You got Thanksgiving coming up, but it's spiritual. We also have Hanukkah coming up, which is a remembrance of our taking the temple back from Esau as he was the Greeks. Okay, if you didn't know who you know as the Greeks, who you know as the pagan Romans, okay, those were Edomites. Now the first Greeks are Japhet, but through wars, okay, Esau takes over not only lands, but he takes over nationalities. This is why he calls himself a Jew today, okay, because the Hellenization that Esau has done to us through pain, through torture, okay, through mutilation, all right, is what made us into Gentiles, just like in the Americas, okay. The same thing that Esau did to us during the Greeks is the same thing he did to us during the Americas, all right. And it says, for thy violence against thy brother. See, Esau has only given his brother pain, has only given his brother violence. All right. It says, against for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. So Esau, Edom, has not been cut off forever yet because he's still giving his brother violence. He's still giving his brother pain. Okay. And this is what people have no idea. All right. That this spirit that Esau has always been in. He's always been in this mutilations, okay, in these whippings, in these beatings, in these rapings, in these murderings, in these killings. He's always been, all right, in this spirit. Okay, he's always been in the spirit to whip, beat, and kill, torture. Okay, let's put in let's put torture to slaves in America. Okay, and there's a lot of grotesque images. Okay, there's a lot of unseemly things. You see, very disgusting things that Esau has always done to his brother Jacob. All right, but this is what the Bible is speaking about: that violence. Okay, these strange torture tactics. Okay, shame, pain, all right, and judgment is going to cover you. Okay, so now let's jump real quick to Amos before we go into Maccabees, because what I want to do is I'm just building up the foundation, because I pretty much just want to touch on a few accounts in the Maccabees that correlate literally to the judgment and inhumane nature that the early quote unquote Americans did to slaves. Okay, just give me a second here. All right, so let's just do this one. All right, here we go. So this is Amos 1 and let's go right here to 11, really quick. Okay, this is Amos 1 and 11. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, thus saith Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword." And then what did he do with this sword? Okay, he used the sword to dismember him. He used the sword as a scare tactic to force him to eat pork. Okay, he used the sword to cut off his members, right? Castration, mutilation. His sword turned into a whip and would cut their backs. All right, this is what Esau has done. This is who as the Caucasians have done. You see nothing but the relationship between whites and blacks is the same relationship you see between Jacob and Esau in the scriptures and history. Okay, all right, because we are Jacob, we are the 12 tribes of Israel, and Esau, Edom, is the evil brother. All right, that has been nothing but tear us to shreds. All right, and it says, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword. It says his brother. Okay. Earlier last year, you had a Israelite get put to death by a company of police officers, and as he's being beaten to death, he keeps telling the cops that he says, "I'm your brother. I'm your brother." Now, did he know that he was an Israelite? No, but it was spiritual. Okay. This is the relationship that's an ongoing issue even to this day. Okay, it's November the 24th, 2021, and you still see this relationship. All right, you still see Esau slaying, murdering, killing, torturing his brother, and even psychologically. Okay, and it says because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. See, so it says he cast off all pity. Now, going back, when you look at the torture tactics, okay, that he did to the men and women right here, they would send Jakes to the doctors, and they would perform botched surgeries on them, to basically practice on their bodies. So when they had to perform a medical endeavor, if you will, on their own counterpart people, they didn't want to mess it up. So they would use Jake as a guinea pig. They would use the black woman, all right, as a guinea pig. All right. They would buck break them. They would whip them. They would beat them. They would cut their arms and noses and ears off. Okay. For minor infractions. You see, these are the things that Esau would do. Now let me show you something specifically. It's called castration. Just give me a sec. Let's put this real quick. And this was even done during the slave trade. Okay. So let's see real quick. Castration and slavery. Let's go here. Okay. Is this a real thing? Yes. Okay. Castration. All right. This was something that we all are very familiar with. If you watch the movie Django. Okay, castration was a form of torture, but guess what? Castration was also a form of torture that was done to the Israelites under the Greek rulership. Now, this says treatment of enslaved people, all right, treatment of enslaved Israelites in the United States, treatment of enslaved Israelites in Babylon the Great. It says mutilation of slaves. See, he casted off all pity. When you mutilate somebody, you know that's a very grotesque, all right, way to punish someone by mutilating them, right? It says such as castration of males, all right, cutting off their bowel members. You see, because what are your bowels? Not only is it your small and large intestines, but your bowels is your private parts. All right, it's how your body releases toxins. So what Esau would do is he would torture you through these methods. It says such as castration of males, removing a front tooth or teeth, and amputation of ears was relatively common punishment during the colonial era, still used in 1830. All right. So this is a tactic that Esau, all right, would do to Jake, to his own brother. All right. Castration. You see, cutting off his members, which that's our right as a male, all right, an Israelite male bearing the holy seed to be fruitful and multiply. But what did Esau do? He took that. Okay. Now let's go into the Maccabees and prove that castration that we just read about in the Americas. Okay. Well, that's also found in the scriptures during the time of the Greeks. So you can see a correlation of how we became Gentiles again through Esau. He turned us into Gentiles as the Greeks, and he turned us into Gentiles as the Americans. You see, your name is no longer Kunta, but Toby, right? Your name is no longer, Gabar, but now it's Gabe. I'm just trying to use an example to show you. All right, this is what Esau has always done. Now let's go to the 1611. Okay, and I like to call this it's a jewel. Okay, because this tactic, this torture, we're all very familiar with. You see it in the movie Django and so on, but it's also found in the scriptures. Now we're gonna get it. Okay, let's go to Second Maccabees 9, and then we're gonna jump to Second Maccabees 7, because you have to understand this spirit Esau has always been in. He has a spirit to mutilate us. Okay, to just decimate us, as a man, as an Israelite. So let's see. Let's grab this. And this is also a great account because the Lord also judged this demon, all right, King Antioch, which he's also referred to as the wicked root. Now let's go to here. This is Second Maccabees 9, and let's start at 5. Now this is King Antioch getting ready to head to Jerusalem to just destroy us some more. Okay, this is the spirit he's always coming in, is to kill and destroy. Yahweh Shai said, the thief cometh not, but to kill and destroy. All right, this is Second Maccabees 9 and 5. It says, yeah, that's what I want. Second Maccabees 9 and 5, and it says, but the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, smote him, speaking about Esau, the king, with an incurable and invisible plague. For as soon as he had spoken these words, a pain of the bowels that was remediless came upon him. So see, here, I'm going to keep reading, but there's a reason why the Lord is smiting him in his bowels, because what he did to us in our bowels, right? Turning Jake into a mutilated eunuch, if you will. And it says, pain of the bowels that was remediless came upon him, and sore torments of the inner parts. So the Lord is judging his inner parts because he had a reputation of judging us in our inner parts, just like here in America. Okay, it's a known fact that there was castration and mutilation done to the so-called black man, the so-called Native American and Latino man. All right, the so-called black man of the West Indies, and so on. Right, and here it is. Listen to this. Look, it says, and that most justly, for he had tormented other men's bowels with many and strange torments. What other men's bowels? The Israelite men's bowels, because now we can jump to what? Second Maccabees 7. 2 chapters prior to this, he is the infamous story, all right, of the 7 sons, all right, and their righteous mother. So right here, what do you think it's talking about when it says he tormented other men's bowels? Okay. What are your bowels? Your bowels go into your private parts. And look, that's strange. That's strange that you would cut off a man's rod. Okay. But that is the spirit that Esau has always been in. Okay. He's been in that spirit, all right, of castrating you. Okay. Going back. Okay. Right here. This is a known torture tactic that Esau would do. Okay. And it's all throughout history. All right. All you got to do is put it in African male slave experience. It's grotesque. Okay. Castration. This is what he was doing in the time of the Greeks. Okay. The Bible speaks about strange torments through your bowels. Okay. And I keep thinking about the scene where Django's hanging upside down with that mask on. Oh, and that's another thing. Do you know why we had those iron masks? Because the judgment that Esau was doing to us was so severe that our own people would try to choke themselves to death. They would try to swallow dirt so they couldn't breathe. So that was Esau's way of stopping them from killing themselves, so they can experience this hell condition that he was putting them in. Okay, this is the spirit Esau comes in. All right, the slavery and then the war and hell that he put on our people, just quote unquote to pick cotton and so on, is inhumane. Okay, we weren't just in slavery under him. He literally used the body parts of our people to his own pleasure. Okay, the women, the men, the boys, the girls. All right, he treated our bodies as if he could just use it, abuse it, and then throw it away. This is the spirit that Esau has always come in when it comes to our people. When it comes to his brother, okay, we're supposed to be your brother, right? That's what the scripture says. All right. Now we know 2 nations, but we do have the same mother and father, and we grew up as brothers. But that relationship changed very quickly. Okay. Now I'm just going to touch on this really, really quick. You know, this is definitely a major issue, and this is definitely a judgment that he's going to receive. And I feel a lot of our people through Christianity do not have the spirit of wanting justice, in a manner that the Most High is going to bring, because they're diluted in the mind. Okay, you have to understand this terrible history that we're reading and speaking about. Well, justice is going to be answered. Okay, he will receive judgment for this hell that he is continuously put on our people. All right, this is Second Maccabees 7. We're going to skim a little bit of this. Second Maccabees 7:1. It came to pass also that 7 brethren, right? 7 brethren with their mother were taken. This is actual history. Okay, this is actual history. Even the 48ers speak about this on their websites. This is a known fact. Okay, they celebrate Hanukkah. Hanukkah is a known fact. All right. So don't let anybody try to tell you that these accounts that we're reading is farce. You can just Google King Antiochus IV. You can literally Google the Greeks and what they did to the Jews. All right. You don't just need the Bible in this instance. All right. It says, with their mother were taken and compelled by the king, this Edomite king, right, against the law to taste swine's flesh, and were tormented with scourge and whips. Who else was tormented with scourge and whips? All right, the so-called slaves in America. Let's put that real quick. Let's put whipping. All right, let's put this in real quick. It was just on my spirit to go into this. The time we're in. Okay, look at this. Let's read this real quick. Whipping during slavery. Okay, whipping during slavery. Slaves were punished by whipping, shackling, beating, mutilation, branding, and or imprisonment. Punishment was most often meted out in response to disobedience. Right, you didn't want to eat swine's flesh, I'm going to torture you. See, You don't want to do what I say, I'm going to beat you, right? I'm going to rape you. I'm going to murder you, okay? To disobedience or perceived infractions, but masters or overseers sometimes abuse slaves to assert dominance, right? That's what the police do. They will beat you to assert dominance, okay? This is the same, what we were reading, okay, in history is also found in the Bible. It's just under a different empire, okay? It's under a different empire, but it's the same nation. You see, same things happening all over again. Now, let's just keep going a little bit more in this. I see you brothers posting precepts, the water for that. Lord's will, I will grab some of those off the comment board from you beloved brothers. This is back in 2nd Maccabees 7, right? And let's keep going, you see? And it says, but one of them that spake first said thus, what wouldest thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to die rather than to transgress the laws of our fathers. Then the king, the Edomite, right, being in rage. So he's in a rage. This is a spirit Esau comes in, okay? That anger, his anger did tear perpetually back in Amos. See that anger that he has towards Jacob, all right? That fury, all right? See, and it says, commanded pans and cauldrons to be made hot, branding, right? Branding. What did they do? They burned a hot iron and then seared it on your flesh, on your face, and on your body, right? It says, which forthwith being heated, he commanded to cut out the tongue of him that spake first. So he's mutilating them. You see? It says, and it says, oh, look, it says, spake first and to cut off the utmost parts of his body. What are the utmost parts of your body? You see? So he's always had a spirit to dismember you, mutilate you, and castrate you. All right. And it says, and he's doing this in front of the family. All right. Just like with buck breaking, he would do that in front of the family, you know. And I'm just gonna, it's effed up, man, but it's history, you know. And this is what he's done to us. All right. Let's put this in real quick. This was also performed in front of the family. Okay, let's look this up real quick. All right, let's go here. All right, they did this. Let's see, let's do definition. Let's see. I just want the definition. I didn't know they had a movie. All right, but let's see. All right, well, pretty much they did it. They did it to abuse the strongest Israelite man. Look, to assert dominance, and they would do it in front of the family. Okay, they would do it in front of the family. You see. So, you know, you brothers, you're I'm sure you're very familiar. Which buck breaking, look, that's why our people sag today. Okay. So this is this is this is what Esau's given Jacob. He's given him nothing but pain, brothers. Okay. He's given us as a nation of people nothing but pain. I mean, and how can we now just sit here and act as if this is okay now, you know, as everything is fine now, you know, and because you so-called freed us, we're okay. And no, man, you have to pay what you owe. Now let's read just a little more, and it says back in 4, it says the utmost parts of his body and the rest of his brethren and his mother looking on, just like buck breaking. Now look at 5. Now when he was thus maimed, mutilated in all his members, okay, he commanded him, being yet alive, to be brought to the fire and to be fried in the pan. And as the vapor of the pan was for a good space dispersed, they exhorted one another with the mother to die manfully. Okay? See, because you can't break Jake's spirit, man. All right? You can't break Jake's spirit. And all of them died very manfully, might I add. All right? Now I'm just jump to 7. All right? I'm gonna just, you know what? Let's just keep reading. It says, "The Lord power looketh upon us." Right? This is what he said in his last breath, man. Looketh upon us, and in truth has comfort in us, as Moses in his song, which witnessed to their faces, declared, saying, "And he shall be comforted in his servants." So when the first was dead, after this manner, they brought the second to make him a mocking stock. And when they had pulled off the skin of his head with the hair, they asked him, wilt thou eat before thou be punished throughout every member of thy body? Do you see that? They quote unquote scalped him. Okay. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is what Esau would also do to Gad. All right. They would take Gad's head. Okay, let's put this in. Let's put this in. Put this in. Let's see real quick. If I'm not mistaken, okay, when you go into history, he would scalp you. All right, he would scalp you. Now they use that for Gad, but in my research, if I'm not mistaken, Gad got that tactic doing it back to Esau. Okay, but I'll have to do more research on it. But it's definitely something you brothers should look up. I'll probably look it up after this lesson. All right, but it just came to mind. It just came to mind as I was reading that because I've definitely seen history where it speaks about Esau doing that as well. Okay, that was something he would do as well. I think they got also paid for Gad's head. Um, let me see. Let me just real quick. It's on my spirit. I really don't want to make this too long, but hey, I gotta just go with the spirit is pushing. So let's put this in. Let's put $5. Let me see. The 49ers would scalp Indians. Let's see. Let's see. Bear with me for a second. Oh wow, this place is so freaking. Oh, right here. Look right there. Why did colonists, the Wadi Al Bashim Al Shai? Sorry, brothers, my computer acts up sometimes. Look, Indian, this was during the gold rush. Right here. Right here. Let's see what this says right here. Why did colonists scalp Indians? Let's see. It says Native Americans in Southeast took scalp to achieve the status of warrior and to placate the spirit of the dead, while most members of northern either tribes. Now, see, there needs to be more, but this also is what he did as well. Okay, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. It is in history. It's just a few. You just got to put the right words in, and you'll find it. Okay, so just going back to the lesson. All right. So finishing off, it says Second Maccabees 7 and 7. And they asked him, "Will thou eat before thou be punished throughout every member of thy body?" But he answered in his own language, in the Lashon Kodash, in the Hebrew tongue. Right? He answered in his own language and said, "No." Wherefore he also received the next torment in order as the former did. And when he was at the last gasp, he said, "Thou, like a fury, takest us out of this present life, but the King of the world shall raise us up, who have died for his laws unto everlasting life." You see? So there was nothing but torture, but we would die manfully. Okay, now let me jump down real quick to 13. Going to another brother, it says, "Now when this man was dead also, they tormented and mangled the fourth in like manner." So this is the spirit, okay, that he always came in when it comes to his brother Jacob, okay? Mutilation, okay, in a very grotesque manner. Now, let's go real quick to Zechariah. I'm going to wrap this up. Now, when you speak on this, when you talk on this, he doesn't even have a spirit, to be messed up by it. Like we have a spirit of guilt. Like they even have a term. It's called white guilt. I shouldn't have to feel guilty for what my ancestors did. That's the spirit Esau likes to use when it comes to these issues, right? And the brother said on the comment board, "You're right. Gad got it from Esau, then they called us savages." Yeah, I just got to look it up. Like I said, Salaki, it just came to mind. And that's another thing, too. When I was looking up what King Antiochus did to us during the Greeks, it was very hard to find information. This is why none shall want her mate. At the end of the day, through the Holy Spirit, we really just need the scriptures. We are aware of it. but the information is out there. You know, you just got to do some investigative research on this demon. But let's get this real quick. When you speak about all these things, and actually, I would like to go back to the standard version, and I would like to go to Psalm 73, touching on this angle right here. With everything we're talking about, Esau is not designed in the spirit to feel some type of way. Okay, he'll find a way to quote unquote slither out of accepting, you know, that this is foul, man, that this is disgusting, you know. Now let's go to Zechariah 11 and 5. What does it say? It says, I'll read 4. Okay. It says, thus saith the Lord my God, right? Yahweh Shemel Shai, my power, says, feed the flock of the slaughter, whose possessors slay them. All right. They mutilate them. They murder them. They torture them. All right. They belittle them. They they destroy their mind. They take their bodies and they treat it as a toilet. Okay. This is what Esau has done to us. It says, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. Oh, that wasn't me. That wasn't my ancestors. It's never an apology, which we're not looking for one. But one would think after hearing this inhumane shit in history, one would think that you would have a spirit of, damn, bro, that was effed up. But no, they don't come in that spirit. See? It says, and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. Yeah, and their captivity is so bad that even our own people, they're in on it. A lot of Esau would use a lot of our people to beat us as well, okay, and do many things to us as well. Now, what I want to do is I want to jump right here to this in particular verse. Now, this chapter is a good chapter, speaking about Esau and what he's done. But just for time's sake, I want to get this. This is Psalm 73 and 8. It says, they are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak lawfully. They set their mouths against the heaven, and their tongue walketh through the earth. So right here, they speak wickedly concerning oppression. So everything we're going into and talking about now, when it comes to Esau speaking on that, he has a very proud, smirkish spirit to him. Okay, and that's why he's going to receive judgment without mercy. Okay, this guy's going to receive quite a handful, all right, a cupful of judgment, man. All right, because everything that he has done, unbeknownst to him, he is going to have to pay for that. All right, and the scriptures tell us. So let's read this real quick. Okay, in the book of Ecclesiastes 3 and 15. All right, this Ecclesiastes 3 and 15. That which has been is now, right? That which has been, what he's done to us in the early days, what he's done to us in the Greeks is the Romans, right? That which has been is happening right now. You see, it says, and that which is to be, and that which is to be has already been, and the Most High requireth that which is past. So everything that we're reading, which there's definitely more, all right, but everything we're reading is going to be required, and you will have to answer for this. Okay, you will have to answer for your love of the blood of your brother being shed. You are going to have to answer, you know, for that. Excuse me. Let me go to Ezekiel really quick. Okay, I'm just going to get like 2 more. All right, I didn't want to make this too long, but some of these lessons kind of go a little longer, especially when it comes to the judgment and prophecies that pertain to Esau, because the things he's done is very heinous, man. Okay, we truly are in hell, and he is that demon, man. Now this is Ezekiel. We can start at 1, but just real quick, Ezekiel 35 and 6. It says, therefore, actually, we could probably start at 5. Yeah, Ezekiel 35 and 5. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. You got to hate somebody for the things you've done, you know, to specialize in torture. You have to truly hate them, you know. It says, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power. 5. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end, right, further in our affliction. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. And you got to understand, when it comes to torture tactics and the mutilations, okay, and the castrations, there's a lot of bloodshed that takes place, and a lot of times you would bleed out. Okay, you would just bleed out from these tortures. So he has a lot of blood on his hands. So and with that shedding of blood in those times, there's no mercy taken. There's no compassion. Okay, it's pure, unadulterated hatred. You see, so pain and great judgment and hatred is going to pursue you. Blood will pursue you. Okay, biblical judgment will befall you. All right, the king of terror shall renew our minds in how to serve your judgment to bring justice to the nation of Israel. You've hurting our men. You've hurting our women. You've hurting our daughters and our sons. Okay, you've separated the families, and you did it with no remedy. You did it specifically to plague our mind. All right, you didn't just have us in shackles. Okay, you didn't just whip our bodies. You whipped our minds. The judgment and calamity and captivity that has befallen us through your hands has been heinous. Okay, this is a heinous crimes that will be answered on a biblical scale. All right, James 2:13, for he shall have judgment without mercy, that has shewed no mercy, and mercy rejoiceth against judgment. So you have showed no mercy. Okay, you've showed no pity. You've showed no compassion. You've shown no state of remorse for your actions, which you can't, but you have yet to even attempt to do that. So you have not fixed your wrongs. You've not created an avenue for a solution to what you've done. The destroyed mindset of our people are by your hands. Your rappers, your singers, your whores, the stripper, the condition that our people are in are off your hands. We were not brought over here with that mindset. We were not brought over here acting like that. We, as a nation, are a product of Esau. Okay, the way our people carry and conduct themselves is from your hands. All right, what does the scripture say? I've polluted my inheritance. We have became polluted under your rulership, and now we're being made clean. Okay, and you have to be destroyed. You have to be dissolved off the earth after your prophetic judgment. Okay, because he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity, and he that is killed with the sword must be killed with the sword. But now here is the patience and faith of the saints. And I pray through the Spirit that you brothers and few sisters, you are edified as I was. And I just want to say, Call Haloyim La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahat, Rakha, Kudash. I would like to give double honors to my elders and apostles at Great Millstone that do well, and peace and salutations to the Lord's elect. With that being said, Shalom.